What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Let's do a little year-end recap, shall we, of what I read in 2025. Not a full recap. I'm actually just going to filter this for you all the way down to the three, not bangers, but they were good. The three good books that I read in 2025. At least the ones worthy of talking to you people about on this fine day. So I'll start with the nonfiction book from 2025 that really had an impact on me. And this one is pretty personal because I was diagnosed in, the spring of 2025 with inattentive ADHD. In the arms of the angel. Before I was officially diagnosed, I had read the book ADHD 2.0. And it's on Kindle, so unfortunately you don't have a nice book to look at, but you can look at my nice Kindle wrapping if you'd like. ADHD 2.0 showed me how certain behavioral tendencies I have could be attributed to a neurochemical imbalance in the brain, which we call ADHD. It's not dense, it's not long, but it gives you a good overview of what it is. It also provides examples of, hey, if this is something that you've experienced, then it could be ADHD. And when I was reading that book, I was like, yes, I've experienced that. Oh my gosh, I've experienced that too. Holy shit, like that is what's linked to ADHD because I've experienced that. And it's like, you read about these experiences enough and how they could be ADHD and it just starts to line up a little too well for me to dismiss it. So if you're interested in that, then ADHD 2.0 I think would be a great resource for you. We're out of my one book nonfiction section, so let's head to fiction, where I will start with something that surprised me. I think this is on a lot of people's lists is like, hey, if you're gonna read a classic, read this one. But The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, let me tell you, this was like maybe one of 2 or 3 classics I've read that I was like, okay, not bad. This is at its core a story of a man's descent into, I wouldn't say evil, but I would say it's a man's descent into just a bad life. In my view, it's a pretty clear biblical allegory to the fall of man. What Oscar Wilde does is he puts Dorian Gray in the position of Adam. Then we have Basil, who's the painter. Basil is essentially good personified, or God. And then you have Lord Henry, who is the devil personified. And so you have Basil and Lord Henry. Can only use this hand because I'm holding the mic with this one. You have Basil and Lord Henry, and you have a tension between those two that's pulling at Dorian. And the pull of Lord Henry, who's still over here, is stronger than the pull of Basil. I would definitely recommend it, especially if you want to get into classics. Okay, anybody want a water break at this point? I know I do. On to book number 3. Second work of fiction on my list, we have Kazuo Ishiguro's The Remains of the Day. This one is like, if it's raining outside and you find yourself in some sort of countryside cottage and you're like, I want to reflect on my life and the decisions I've made, this book, it'll get you in the mood. Which I guess technically you wouldn't need to get in the mood because you're already in the mood, but this book will help you just ride the coattails of that feeling. This won the Nobel Prize in Literature, by the way, so if that means anything to you, there you have it. This book deals with themes of reflection, contemplation, duty, regret, I would say, and kind of the more existential question of how do our actions matter? Do they matter? How do we look at our past actions? Like, what's the appropriate lens for that? And those questions are tackled in a really nice way. And Kazuo Ishiguro's prose, the way he writes is really part of what kept me reading this book. There's really no plot to either of these, by the way, Picture of Dorian Gray or The Remains of the Day. And I'm a plot guy, to be perfectly honest with you. It's really difficult for me to make it through something that has no plot unless there are compensating factors like the talent of the writer, the prose, the drama between characters, things like that, and both of these books have it. So anyway, I'll leave that list there. Just those 3 for 2025. It was kind of a down year, not gonna lie. Not a ton of bangers on the list of books that I read this year, and that's okay. I think next year's gonna be phenomenal. But until then, thank you so much for clicking on the video. Hope you got some value out of it, and Happy New Year, and I hope to see you around.